just driving down the main strip of Abingdon right now. So beautiful.
We're thinking we'd stay down here for the night, but I'd rather be at Strand Farm.
Yep.
All right, we're back at Strand Farm, and we want to take you through some of the stuff we found today on our trip. What should we start with?
Let's start with the stuff we got at the post office.
Post office. Okay. So for our anniversary, I got myself Creative Evolution by Henry Bergson. He's a philosopher, thinker that Proust really looked up to. And I've just been really into this type of material.
And then this was a surprise that James got from, what would you say, a friend online?
Yeah, this is my friend Ridgeline Path on Twitter. He posts a lot about land racing and all sorts of agricultural and farm stuff. And lately he's been posting his seeds that he's planning on spreading this year for his corn. And I thought his corn was so neat looking. So I asked him if he'd please send us 10 pieces of his corn so that we could plant it. Well, he gave us a bag.
Just a lot more than 10 pieces.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ridgeline Path, and
Yes.
we look forward to planting that this season.
Thank you. Alright, what's next? So then we went to a lot of the antique stores that we wanted to go to were closed because it was Monday. So that was probably a good thing because we would have been gone like for way longer than we needed to. But the next place we went to was an Outfitters.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll show that stuff. So I'll show my shoes first. I got me some new Chacos. And they're dirty. I won't set them on the table, but these were consignment at the Outfitter store that we went to. So normally these shoes are like $100 or something like that. And it just so happened they had one pair on consignment that were my size. And they're actually a wide footprint, which is even better. And I only paid 45 bucks for these. And I love them.
This is Ashley's favorite sandal. Of all the stuff you've worn on our backpacking trips,
Yeah.
of all of our travel nursing, of all of our international traveling, these were the most comfortable for Ashley.
They just fit me well. The one thing I'm going to have to figure out this summer, though, is because it has this big toe separation from the rest of the toe, is what kind of sock I'm going to wear with these, because like if I'm working outside in the evenings and the no-see-ums and stuff are out, I need to put socks on so I can still wear these. So we'll have to figure out what kind of socks I can get. But these are great.
I know there's a lot of toe socks out there. I've looked at several. I've never purchased any. Do you guys have any recommendations on toe socks? Preferably like a wool, merino wool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let us know, because I still need to figure out what kind of socks I'm going to get. Alright, so what else do we get?
The next purchase was on the bargain rack at this Outfitter. And the name of this Outfitters, do you remember what that place was called?
No, I'll look it up quick.
Can't even remember what it was called, but it was a great store. They had just an incredible variety for backpacking, and they're only about 7 miles away from the Appalachian Trail, so they had a good placement too. But nice pair of 7-inch inseam short shorts for me to work in the garden. I paid half for these, so around $40 instead of $85 or whatever they were asking. I'm looking forward to these. I needed new shorts in my arsenal.
Okay, so the name of the Outfitter store that we went to, it was in Marion, Virginia, and it was called Marion Outfitters. So easy enough.
The place was great. They were very helpful there too. The next thing we got was some reconditioner water repellent application for our rain jackets. Our rain jackets have now entered their 7th or 8th season, and they're getting a little damp on the shoulders. And we are about to buy new rain jackets there when we thought, you know what? Let's see if we can rejuvenate these rain jackets, because we've never done that.
No, and we've talked about doing it in the past, and then it always just gets brushed like to the bottom of the to-do list. But we're getting ready to enter into our April showers and our spring, and we get heavy monsoon rains where we're at.
We had Sorry.
And we actually had a monsoon rain yesterday. It just dumped. So I think if we can spend, this was what, like $10 to water repel both of our rain jackets, that'll save us a lot of money because good rain jackets are not cheap.
And if you're gonna get a rain jacket, you gotta get a good one.
Yeah. And we could talk about rain jackets in a different video if you guys want. But anyway, so we got this at the Outfitters and it was $10. This was the last thing that we got at the Marion Outfitters. I had saw this on the book rack just as we were leaving the store, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. It's called Eat the Weeds. And it actually, the thing that drew me to it is inside it actually includes like the nutritional information for each thing. So like, for example, if I want to know the nutritional facts of chickweed, all that's in here. And I just feel like in this day and age and just where we're living, there's so many different varieties of plants and things growing that, you know, nature provides what we need. And I want to learn more about what we can eat here.
Mm-hmm. And this book we ended up buying because of the recommendation from the clerk at that store. She has clients that come through there and customers that come through her store that are actually trained in scavenging and foraging. And one of the more renowned ones in their area that teaches classes came through, and they gave a copy of this book to her. And as a few weeks later, she came back and she bought several more copies for her friends, saying that not only was the material accurate, but she found that she learned even more about the plants and that she loved the nutritional aspect where it actually gives you nutrition facts of these foraged plants. So based on that, we're like,
Yep.
Yep.
And I was holding off on reading the book until after we did the haul because I felt like that was kind of like cheating for some reason. So the only really flip through I've done is while we were at the store. So I'm really excited to read this book. And I think it's starting to snow again. Oh my gosh.
It's snowing.
Okay, so then the next store we went to, should I be figuring out what the names of all these stores are?
No. We went
Okay.
to, let's do a thrift store.
So we went to a bunch of thrift stores, and we won't go through like the names and everything like that. But this was the next place we went to, and it was just kind of like a yard sale style. Like everything was grouped in categories. So there was like a section of mailboxes, there was a section of pot holders, there was sections of like household Tupperware, just random. So anyway, this is what we got from there.
And this place was packed with stuff.
Yeah.
It was right by the highway. There was a shed attached to the building that was floor to ceiling junk piles that had caution tape. And the guy's like, have fun back there. And we went back there and there was just treasures everywhere. But we only found a couple things we were interested in. The first book that I got at this thrift store was a Tolkien book, The Silmarillion. I read the Lord of the Rings series at least once a year, and I'm to the point now where I do want to know how to pronounce some of the characters' names. I want to know on the maps where these people lived, and I like to know some of like just the history of the Lord of the Rings series. And this book is so packed with information, you'd think that this was actually a real place in the past, and it brings to my mind a lot of those John Levy videos about the olden times. The next two treasures that I found were deep in the VHS stack, but I picked up WrestleMania and SummerSlam. These are some of the greatest matches of all time in the early 90s in WWF. And when you've got Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, come on.
Do you know who all those people are?
Yeah. Undertaker, Mr. Perfect, Lex Luger. I can't wait to watch these videos and share what was my childhood with Ashley. I don't think she's watched too much WrestleMania or too much WWF. Got me into wrestling. And wrestling in middle school and early high school was one of my favorite sports.
And that's because of WrestleMania?
I don't know if it's truly because of WrestleMania, but the thought of... So what works and what you quickly find out when you start wrestling for real is that this is not real.
Okay.
In the terms of you can't use this and expect to win the match because you're so vulnerable in the positions that these guys put themselves in. But you also come to understand how acrobatic fake wrestling is, to the point where it's just entertaining for the athleticism of these guys. It's going to be fun to watch.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
And you know I'm a big VHS collector. I have a VHS wall in my shed up there and a little VHS combo television that I watch movies on from time to time. So I'm hoping that we can watch one of these movies as part of our 8-year wedding anniversary celebration. The next 2 items we got were umbrellas. It's monsoon season, rainy season. You can never have too many umbrellas on our homestead.
Plus, I feel like umbrellas at the store now are so expensive. Like, the cheapest one I can find is $10. And then when I open it, it just doesn't feel very well made. Well, these old ones have actual wooden handles. And then the umbrella on them opens so huge. And yeah, they might be a little bit dirty and whatever. The rain's going to wash them off. And we got 2 of them, and they work great. And do we talk about how much all this costs? Because I don't remember. Okay.
So what was the total for this heap?
So for these items, we spent...
How much was it?
I believe it was $10.
I have to go on the budget.
Then, after that, we went to another thrift store, and we got all these items, all these books we got for $6.
Okay, so going through this, Little House on the Prairie Christmas Special. We don't have that. We had to get it. VHS. Done. I love Rodale's guides. This is thick, and it's about herbs. Illustrated encyclopedia. Can't have too much information on those topics. This book was for pennies. Absolutely. It seems like every book we have on foraging or herbs or gardening has one piece of the puzzle, and putting that puzzle together has been one of the greatest parts of our off-gridding adventure here. So this book is going to be a great supplement to that learning.
I was waiting to look at this book. I didn't look at any of these books yet because I felt like we're supposed to do the haul first.
Yeah.
Why does that feel like cheating? I don't know.
This next book that I found while we were there, The Small Houses, and there's all kinds of house plans in here. The Airstream is not big enough for forever. So getting ideas, getting inspiration from a book can be very useful, and this book in particular called out to me. Now, I didn't have good vision when we were at this thrift store because we had just finished eating. And we stuffed ourselves to the brim at Texas Roadhouse. So this book, in the fugue state that I was in post eating, this book stood out, and I knew I needed to get it.
Plus, the photos in it are just absolutely gorgeous. So even if it's just for like getting creative inspiration, it's a neat one. This would be like even just a fun like coffee table book. Not that we have a coffee table, but this would be a good one. Then these are the items that I chose. So I saw Dr. Cloud on several podcasts, and I feel like he had a piece of the puzzle for me as far as just like learning to be a better human being. And I've been wanting this book, Boundaries, for a while, but I'm working on a different book by Dr. Cloud right now through Audible, and that book is Trust. So I'm working on that one, and I thought, well, I'm not going to allow myself to get another book until I finish this one. But then it just so happened that this book by Dr. Cloud was available at the thrift store for only $1. Plus they had the workbook as well, which hasn't even been written in. It's just blank. And this was 50 cents, so I couldn't pass that up. So I got those.
instead of spending nearly $30 on Amazon for those.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I always love Joyce Meyer, so I found this book of hers. It's called How to Hear from God, and I thought, well, that just sounds really great. And this was only $1, and I don't have any of Joyce Meyer's physical books. We have her Battlefield of the Mind book on Audible, and then I have her Everyday Bible, but I thought this would be a great book too. So $6 for all those books, and I'm excited to start reading them.
Yeah, that was a great haul.
They had so much good stuff there. And then the next thing we went to an antique store. We were kind of running out of time. All the shops were starting to close. So we ran through this store, and I did actually take some footage in this store. So I'll just insert some of those clips here. You guys can watch while James talks about these items that he got. And before you do, I will just say that you spent, these two items were $14.74.
So that was a little pricey for an antique store for what we usually spend. However, this place, once again, was gigantic. It had 3 floors, it was well designed, tons of sellers, and we had approximately 15 minutes to shop there. So we sprinted through that store looking for treasures. The first one I found was a guidebook to Montaigne's essays. I love Montaigne's essays, and I find them a little complicated here and there. And this book does a great job of going into some of those different works and explaining them. This Montaigne, as he wrote a lot of the things that he wrote, he would take a break for 5-6 years before adding more to the topic. And unless you know that, what he went through during that time, you won't understand the changes in the perspectives that he has on life and living and just thinking about thinking. So this book is a great supplement. I'm already halfway through it. Unlike Ashley, I started tapping into some of these hauls from our anniversary.
You did? Oh yeah, I saw you reading that one.
This next collection here was just beautifully kept together. It's The Divided Union, the story of the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. And this was, this stood out to me when we got there. All VHSs stand out to me, so if I see a VHS in an antique store, I'm definitely gonna go check it out. We find that the older the content is, the more truth we get, or at least a side that's no longer presented we get. And it's nice to see what people think of things at different time periods. Even like the 90s compared to today, or the 80s compared to today. And there's always treasures in here. I think just watching these videos is gonna give us some great insights into how buildings were built back in the day and how people lived in this time period. And we'll get the historical narrative as well. There's lots of narratives about the American Civil War, and I like to gather as many perspectives as possible on that topic. I find it very fascinating.
This is 1987. That's the same year you were born.
And these are in better condition than I am, so
Wow.
I don't think anybody's even watched these videos. They're like in pristine condition.
Oh no, this is not the right video.
And this is what happens when you shop in a 15-minute period.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
April Fools!
I love our anniversary. Where else do we go?
Okay, so then the last store that we went to was the whole reason why we were going to this area, which is Abingdon, Virginia. And we went all over Marion, Virginia, which we mentioned with the Outfitters. And then we went to Bristol, Tennessee. Or no, we were still in Virginia. I don't think we crossed into Tennessee.
We're in Bristol.
But it was right on the border. And then we went back to Abingdon for, this was the whole reason of our trip, was to go to this store. And this was the Abingdon Olive Oil Company. And so this is what we got there.
visited the Abingdon Oil Company, how long ago? A couple years ago?
I think it was last year.
It was last year, and we did the tour when they were at their old location in Abingdon. And you get to sample a bunch of the olive oils, the balsamics, and what else? The infused oils. And we had olive oil on ice cream there. Mm-hmm. And that planted the seed.
Yep. And I do have a little bit of footage of inside of the Abingdon Olive Oil Company. They've moved to a new location, which I guess was the old visitor center there in Abingdon, Virginia. But I will put in a little bit of footage of that. I didn't get any clips of us doing the actual taste testing just because we were talking with the lady and eating ice cream and stuff like that. But I definitely recommend if you're in Abingdon or you're passing through, just stop by there. The people in there are so nice. They know about everything. You can taste pretty much anything they have in the store. From my understanding, they'll give you a sample of anything if you want to try it. And so what we got was, I got some Alphus Mango white balsamic vinegar. And I have got this before and I absolutely love it. And since we're coming up on fresh green season and salad season and summer season, this is going to be gone very quickly because I like to put this on our salads. So this is a must-have. And then the next thing that's also a must-have, we're restocking our cayenne red chili oil. We, particularly James now more than me, he's gotten into more hot stuff than me, but we put this on just about everything, I think, like eggs, pizza, I don't know, what else we put it on? Burgers, fries.
Anything savory.
Soups, any chilies that we make, anything, just about. So we put this on. And although we do have plans to make our own oil, like I have some of our own garden chilies infusing in oil right now, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This stuff is great. So we like to have that on hand. And then the other bottle here we got is their extra virgin olive oil. This was, I don't know how you say this, Arbequina. I'm probably saying it wrong. But they have several different olive oils there to taste. We tasted all of them. This one, I believe she said, was from Portugal. And it has a higher content of the, do you remember what she said they were? Anyway, the medicinal value of the olives, this one had a higher content of it. And so the reason we got this oil primarily is because we recently discovered that we like to use a drizzle of olive oil on vanilla ice cream. And so whenever we're indulging ourselves in some ice cream dessert, this is going on the vanilla ice cream. And it makes it taste so good. Like, it sounds disgusting, but it's really good.
And healthier.
And healthier. And then James went to the restroom while we were there, and I guess they had this in the bathroom. He was able to wash his hands, but it says Olive Oil Skincare Company Hand Wash, Castile Style Lemon Scented Tea Tree. So it's some kind of hand soap, but he said it made his hands feel really soft. And again, since we're coming into garden season, my hands are already just dry and rough as can be. So I feel like putting this in the bathroom when we wash our hands hopefully will help keep our hands nice and moist. So everything we got there was, let me look up the receipt. We got some other stuff for other gifts for people.
Right.
So, and also if you bring back your tag, like they give you a little tag on the bag. If you bring this back with you when you go to shop again, or if you bring back the recycled bottles, you get a 10% off discount. So with the 10% off discount, the Arbequina, the olive oil was like, I don't know, 26 bucks or something like that. The cayenne oil was $21.50, give or take, and then the Alphus Mango was maybe $21 with tax. So a splurge, but these are such a treat for us. And again, it was our anniversary, so I'm super glad we got all those.
I think so too.
So that's everything we got on our haul. And then we just have one more item. We're going to pause, get it opened, and then we'll show you what it is. But we got it for Moose.
Moose, did you get something for our anniversary?
Moose, what's this?
What do you got? What is this? Ready, Moose?
What did you get, Moose?
What is it?
Whoa!
What is it?
Yay, Moose! That's a big box for that. Wow. So we already have one of these
For the truck.
for the truck, and I just recently cleaned out the RAV really good because farm cars, if you know, you know. And so we don't have anything on the seat except for just like a towel whenever Moose gets wet. So having this in the truck has really saved our back seat from wet, dirty dog. And so I wanted to get another one because they were on sale. And so we got this for the RAV.
Very robust. Now both our vehicles have one, and Moose has way more space in the back. And it allows us to store more of our stuff away from
Yeah,
Moose, too.
without getting dirty. You
Yeah.
trying to get down? Okay, you go ahead. You want to get down? Good girl. Okay, so this I got from Duluth, and it was on sale for $60, and then I also had some kind of coupon, so it ended up being like $55, plus I got a beanie. Because I have to get you have to spend a certain amount to get free shipping. So I got this and a beanie for $55.
Wait, where's the beanie?
I think it's not here yet. I think they shipped them separate.
Weird.
So I'll be getting my beanie later. But anyways, so this for $55 with the free beanie.
Well, thanks for tuning in with us while we celebrate our 8th wedding anniversary. We hope you guys had a fantastically foolish day and that you are ready for April because spring is here.
Yep. And snow. And that's it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Anthony's desserts, yo.
Ooh, cheesecake. Tiramisu. Oh no.
Chocolate vanilla swirl. Dark chocolate rum.
Okay, what'd you get?
I got tiramisu wedding cake.
Yum. Let's see. Ooh, it's beautiful.
Nice.
And then I got an eclair. That's not all for me, but most of it is. I got an eclair. I got a turtle cheesecake and also a strawberry cheesecake.
Happy anniversary, Skumar.
Happy anniversary. Oh.
How is it?
So good.
Yep.
James just aspirated tiramisu powder.
Because Ashley found a milkshake shop. You know, Ashley called in sick to work so we could get married at the courthouse on April Fool's Day 8 years ago.
It's true.
We have a video on YouTube, on our old YouTube channel, which was Strand Venture. We have a link, we'll put a link to it. But we announced to our friends and family how we had gotten married through YouTube. We skipped the wedding. We hit the road.
Bought this truck.
Yeah, we bought this truck 8 years ago. A little bit before that. We're at 147,000 miles. Moose was practically born in this truck.
And you almost died aspirating tiramisu.
Let's go to the antique store.
Okay.